Welcome to the 30-Day, 30 Paradox series, where we explore the mind-bending ideas that defy all logic.
Prepare to stretch your intellect and challenge the boundaries of logic. Over the next 30 days, journey into the world of the paradoxes.
Right now, deep inside your body, millions of microscopic cells are dividing, dying off, and being replaced by brand new ones. By the time a decade passes, almost every single atom that currently makes up your skin, your bones, and your brain will be swapped out. You are physically a different collection of matter than you were 10 years ago. Yet, you still feel like you. You have the same memories, personality, and name. This biological reality brings up a surprisingly difficult question. How does an object persist over time when its physical parts keep changing? We have to ask whether identity lives in the physical material we are made of, or if it exists as a pattern separate from the matter itself. To see how deep this puzzle goes, we can look to a story recorded by the Greek philosopher Plutarch about ancient Athens and their mythical founder king Theseus. After Theseus returned from a legendary voyage to Crete, the Athenians wanted to honor him. They decided to preserve his vessel, keeping it docked in the city's harbor for centuries. As the years passed, the harsh elements took a toll. Whenever a wooden plank rotted away, the city's craftsmen would systematically remove it and install a new, stronger piece of timber in its place. Slowly, piece by piece, the ship was repaired. Eventually, the craftsmen removed the very last original plank. At that exact moment, the vessel sitting in the harbor contained 0 wood from the original ship Theseus actually sailed. So, is the ship docked in the harbor still the Ship of Theseus? You must choose. Either the ship's identity comes from its continuous shape and function, or its identity comes from the original physical material it was built with. Whichever answer you choose reveals your baseline assumption about what makes objects real. The ancient Greeks only gave us half the problem. In the 17th century, the philosopher Thomas Hobbes laid a trap. Hobbes asked us to imagine a scavenger sneaking around the Athenian harbor. Every time the city craftsman threw away a rotting original plank, this scavenger quietly collected it and stored it in a warehouse. After decades of waiting, the scavenger finally gathers all the discarded wood. He takes those original rotting planks and pieces them back together, reconstructing the exact ship in a different location. Hobbes uses our own logic against us. We are now looking at 2 entirely separate physical objects, and both have a compelling claim to the exact same identity. This diagram shows our 2 contenders. On the left is Ship A, the one in the harbor with a continuous timeline but entirely new parts. On the right is Ship B, the scavenger's vessel made of the original matter but with a disjointed history. Let's test the first argument. If you believe Ship A is the true vessel because it never stopped functioning as the ship, you have to account for the physical authenticity of Ship B. It is constructed from the exact atoms Theseus touched. But if you argue Ship B is the true vessel because original matter is all that counts, look at the timeline for Ship A. You would have to point to exactly which plank replacement stripped the harbor ship of its identity. Both arguments follow sound logic, yet we are left with 2 distinct vessels when the law of identity says there can be only one. This deadlock suggests that neither physical matter nor continuous history provides a complete answer to the question of identity on its own. To break the gridlock, we have to look at a concept called essentialism. This is the traditional belief that an object holds a permanent, unchanging core, a sort of invisible soul that makes it what it is. But there is a competing philosophical framework called nominalism. This view suggests that the Ship of Theseus is a linguistic label, a mental shortcut humans use to categorize a shifting group of parts. Under nominalism, the gridlock disappears. There is no magic essence trapped inside the wood. The true ship is whichever vessel human society collectively decides to apply the label to. By letting go of the idea that objects have built-in essences, we take the power of identity out of the physical world and place it into the minds of the people observing it. This framework directly applies to the digital systems we build today. If an artificial intelligence model has its underlying code entirely rewritten line by line over several updates, it remains the same software because we continue to identify it by the same name. And that brings us right back to the human biological software we started with. You are not a static collection of atoms. Your body is a mechanism for processing material, continuously swapping out cells while maintaining a complex, evolving pattern of information. True identity is an unbroken story we maintain. It is a pattern of continuity that survives the total destruction and replacement of ancient wood, lines of code, and our own human flesh.